the Palestinians are not different to other indigenous people in settler colonial context where they were, at a certain point, clearly slated for erasure. It's not different from the Native Americans. It's not different from the indigenous people. Oh, hi, Nicholas. I didn't realize it was you. Sorry. It's not different from the Aboriginal people who were displaced and replaced by the colonists, by the settlers. And the thing is that unlike other people, and despite the fact that they were displaced, so their nation was disintegrated, their homeland was disintegrated, these people have managed to reconstitute themselves as a nation because the attachment to their land is so strong, is maternal, is visceral. And it's something that, think of the key that they hold in their chest of drawer or hanging in their homes. It's not just that it's the most precious belonging, the most precious jewel they have, but it also operates like a root planted in each person. Of course, there are exceptions, but this is what they keep on functioning as a people. And it's so telling. And so throughout various phases of history, they have worked through this spirit of unity. And this is why I want people to reflect on the word sumud, because sumud is not just resilience, is staying put. It means, if you look at in Arabic, the roots of the word means staying put, staying still, staying strong. So there is a storm and I don't move. The world falls apart and I don't move. And I'll keep on returning. And this is incredible of the Palestinians. It's such a method for resistance, a manual of resistance in these difficult times for all of us.
Yes, but it's very difficult to get that message across through the media ecosystem the way it is right now.
Of course, but it's so functional because Palestinians are a thorn in the side, not just of Israel, not just of Arab plutocrats who have exploited their cause for their own interests, but actually they are plotting against them. They're not the majority of Arab countries or Arab rulers, no, but they're very influential. And today they are a thorn in the side of the so-called Western democracies that are completely Israelized. I often refer to Israelization of Western democracies or quasi-democracies because we, for example, in Italy, in Germany, in France, in Europe in general, Israel has been portrayed as the sole democracy of the Middle East and a liberal democracy, which is not. But then if you look at the kind of democracy they are referring to, you see why they're doing what they're doing to their societies. I will explain myself. Israel is a democracy in the sense that the people in Israel vote. It doesn't matter if they contain and oppress other people. There are always others. And in Europe today, there are many others. There are migrants, refugees, and other unwanted minorities who are treated as an encumbrance. And then what Israel does is to use the power of technology, to use the power of narrative, to use military power. Actually, military power comes first, to make sure that this unwanted encumbrance doesn't bother them, doesn't bother the democracies. They can continue to complain and they will be repressed. Same thing as it's happening in Europe. And the pro-Palestine solidarity movement has been a test. Freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, everything has been crushed over the past 2 years because as long as you stand against the system that Western liberal democracies and Israel are part of, they are they are one system. They stand for the same values. They operate according to the same principles. And I think this is why I think that we should get the lesson from the Palestinians or at the time of the first Intifada and even before, how do we stick together? As I'm not sure the Palestinians have the energy right now, the capacity right now, after 35 years of pretense of a peace process, and which has crushed them completely and has fragmented also the...
You're talking about the two-state solution.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we international community have contributed to this encroachment of the worst form of occupation, which is the one that has taken place during the so-called peace process years. The occupation has gone into the veins of the system. Israel has been legitimized to be in Area A, in Area B of the West Bank, to further isolate Gaza, to take over Jerusalem, with countries even recognizing Jerusalem as the capital, Serbia, as the capital of Israel. So we have normalized the taking over of their land and of their life, while talking about a two-state solution. You see the power of narrative. It was already operating. Now we are seeing this phenomenon on steroids because of technology, because of how fast media can transform, can create narratives, can amplify narratives and make them run or fly. But we are part of the same. So Western democracies are Israelized to the point that they can deploy army in their city centers and kill civilians, dissenting, as it's happening in the US or as it's happening in the UK, in Germany, in France, in Italy, where they're passing illiberal laws, and accuse journalists and civil society of terrorism and anti-Semitism as a way to silence them. It's the same kind of model.